And you know, some of them do. There we
There
go.
we
7
go.
Money and Ownership Lessons by Nipsey Hussle.
That's it. That's it.
And
Yeah,
that's what I posted every single day for a year since his passing. And then I just wanted to keep that going because his business model inspired me to just like believe in my own worth in terms of like, you know, just take it to the streets and like, you know, the people will come. And like, you know, when he was doing his Crenshaw and he was selling it for $100.
right.
And then he came out with the Milk Money joint, sold that for $1,000. It's crazy for us to think, who's paying for that? And people did.
Genuine fans. Man, that's what I was going to ask you about, man. Because, see, I think I got about 19 genuine fans.
19?
That's about it, brother.
Yeah.
And I seen you do it. You posted a tweet yesterday or the day before yesterday, and you said you have so many people rooting for you.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like people have been rooting for you since you started doing stand-up. You know, ever since you came on the scene, I felt like you was the likable guy that everybody wanted to win, right?
Yeah.
How does that feel? Because I come from a perspective, or I'm on the opposite side of the fence where I feel like no one really roots for me to win. I think I consistently work, and people like Justin is working. So in return, I never feel like anyone's ever actually rooting for me.
Gotcha.
So
you feel like you always have to prove it every time?
Not even prove it. I think people just kind of look at me as like, yeah, like Justin's on TV. You know what I'm saying? Or yeah, Justin headliner. Yeah, Justin is rapping now. It's like, it's almost like, okay, it's almost like I feel like me being able to do different things becomes the norm, or me working consistently becomes the norm. And so and so nobody really pushes me to win because they already like, well, in their eyes, they feel like I'm already winning.
Yeah. For me, like, and I got some notes for you too, if you want to take them.
Oh, I do. Say
because with you from a social media standpoint, you're on a hit CBS TV show. What, 4 or 5 seasons in?
Yeah, we're going on our 5th season. MacGyver.
5th season. So you know, to the outside eyes, just like, oh, this dude's killing. He's got a TV show. Cool, man. He out here. And like, also, I don't know how many black folks watch MacGyver.
About 12.
Yeah, so you know, in our social media circle, and I consider us in the same circle, black social media is a different thing. It's a different world, kind of, sort of. It's like a different universe. So, you know, when you look on social media and you look at our timelines, I'm pretty sure me and you have the same timeline that we scroll through. We see sports related. We see social injustice. We see Breonna Taylor. We see LeBron James. We see love and hip hop. We see power memes. We see the things that are rooted in the black culture. MacGyver, though, hasn't it resonates with white audiences and CBS, and you know CBS is not black central. You know, they're trying to get the ball rolling with the neighborhood. It's like, you know,
I'm aware.
Yeah, so it's
you see my show Rush Hour got canceled during the commercial break. So you know.
Right, you know, and it's like they be trying to put their foot in the black waters with like Rush Hour, and like, you know, thank God the neighborhood hit. So we're like, all right, cool. So we can bring more. And the Gina Yashere show is, you know, they renewed that, right?
Right.
So we slowly getting into that space where, you know, black folks are showing up to CBS. It's the most watched network, but not necessarily by us.
Right.
And so when we see your MacGyver posts, it's like, oh, he already winning. He doing his thing. It's like, but we still don't know who Justin Hires is. You've always been very guarded with who you are as a person. Like, you protect your family as you should. You protect your wife, your baby girl. You shield all of that, and you kind of don't really even go into it. And so we just like, all right, he's an actor and he's a rapper. but we don't really know who Justin is.
Hey man, let me tell you how I know you're right. You gotta be the third or fourth person that has told me that. So now it's at a point where if everybody's saying it, it must be true.
Yeah, because we don't know who you are.
And I'm gonna tell you why I do that is because I know at some point, and maybe to my own detriment, it may never come if I keep going this route, but I know there's going to be a point where I'm not going to be able to shield my family from the Hollywood lights. My wife don't want to be on camera like that. And then I have a daughter and I don't want her to be looking for likes. You know, I don't want people, I don't know if somebody go say something reckless about my daughter in the comment section. Now I done lost my career because I done shot up somebody's car. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So those are all the reasons why I'm like, but I do talk about my family in my stand-up, but in my social media, but everybody ain't seen my stand-up. You know, way more people see my social media than my stand-up. But you, DeMar Randy, Shantae Waynes, y'all have all said the same thing, like publicly, like, people don't know who you are because it seemed like you're just promo.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah. And so you got to give us, you've got to give us more Justin hires as opposed to the promo. And like, cause I'll tell you right now, when I promo on my social media page, them numbers be minuscule. When I post a flyer or when I post a promo, we don't want to see the promo. People, I have to promo. That has to be done. But numbers wise, people just don't care. They just be like, all right, flyer that's not even in my city, die. They keep give us the content. So yeah, man. And so with you, it's like we live in an age where people want to feel like they know you. Like even if you never really show the fam, and your reasons why I totally get 100%. But if we can get to know who you are, it's like it draws us to you. It's like, because what I've noticed, like with the big social media followings, with like people with big numbers, like even Kev, we feel like we know Kev. We feel like even Kevin Hart, we feel like we know him. We see him with his kids, his friends. We see him interacting with, like, you know, his dog, his wife. Is like, we see him interacting. We like, man, Kev. Like, we feel like we know him. And Kev on stage, we feel like we know him because he brings us into that world of, you know. And even with me, you know, people feel like they know me, they know Sabrina, they know the cats, they know my sons. It's just like, and they know how I feel about, you know, they know I'm a vegetarian. They know I don't like this. They know I hate this and that. So it brings us together, and like, so now people feel like they're in on the inside jokes of me and Tony. Like, yeah, we know he don't like this and that. We know, and when people feel like they're included in the brand, that makes them more loyal and more responsive and more like, yeah, you know, we feel like family more than just, you know, people that are just looking at promo ads. They feel like they become a part of it. Yes.
Well, the funny thing is my daughter been saying she wants to be on social media. My daughter's a female version of me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
People don't even know this, but because she don't like to act on the spot when she feel like people are watching. But at the same time, she do like, let me hop in your video. But I'm like, no, because I'm trying to shield her. Get your ass out of the way. She's like, come on, daddy, I'm trying to be a star. I'm like, get your ass. So I made her an Instagram page because I've only posted her one time, but I only posted it because you couldn't see her face. You know, she was doing a magic trick and she like ran off real quick. And it was the worst magic trick you've ever seen in your life. But that was the joke and the comedy of it. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take that in, man. I'm gonna receive that because, you know, I'm one of them people, man. I feel like wisdom can come from anywhere. And I'm always one of those people like, how can I improve myself? And I'm also always like, I wonder what people's perception is of me, because I know what my perception is of me, but I never really know until somebody tell you, like, motherfucker, we don't know you.
Exactly. Like, like initially with you, like on stage, like your material, you would talk about your career a lot. You would talk about, you know, your movie roles and getting overlooked by people because you was on this and that. But for me, like when you started like going into your life and like, you know, you had that bit about how you compare racism to like dog ownership.
Right.
And so that's when I was like, yes, this. Because, you know, people don't necessarily care about the career side as much. Like if you just went up there and talked about movie roles and TV, a lot of people can't connect. They can't really, you know, connect with that. Especially you in Middle America.
What the fuck is a SAG card?
Yeah, so we don't care. We just want, and so once you start tapping into your personal, like who you are, then that's when things will really start to change for you. I feel, because then because like for me, Justin, I've known you for years now. I don't know what your baby girl look like, man, and I know you personally, though. Like that's how
guarded, right?
That's how safeguarded you are. Like if I ran into your wife at Sprouts, I met her one time, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even be like, it was Justin's wife. It's like that's how close to the vest you keep everything. And
man,
so,
I just wear this ring to get bitches, man. I don't actually have a wife.
So I was just like, man, he ain't really married. What dog?
Right? This shit is all an act, man.
Yeah.
This shit look good when I'm talking to these studio execs. Like, listen, man, I got a family, I got a daughter. They're like, where is she? I'm like, hey, I'll be right back. You know? Yeah.
And so with that, because I feel like with us as comedians, especially comedians that are, you know, even though you're successful on a TV show, I know you still want the comedian success of just like, you know, being a huge comedian. And so that comes with, you know, we got to be a little bit more open in terms of not necessarily sharing your family, but just like open in terms of your perspective, your thoughts on things, your humanity. Because a lot of times the biggest comedians, it's that human element that brings us into them. Like, man, you know, Chris Rock be up there talking about racism in America, but it's a human element to that we just like, yeah, and we can relate. So we just like, man, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, you know, so they brought us in. Dave Chappelle talking about his family and like, you know, even though he keeps his wife protected, we still get a sense of, we know he lives on a farm in Ohio.
He'll show her every blue moon she'll pop up.
Yeah, just give us a little inkling of that. And I feel like once you start doing that, more so on your social media, then people will start to gravitate more towards like what you got going on, your thoughts, your perspectives, your life. Like when you posted about your house, your office building, you bought
a house.
That was like, yes, this. You know,
that shit did get a lot of views too.
It did?
Yeah.
See, that's why, you know, and people connected to that. We get, oh, Justin out here doing it. We get inspired, and real estate. And then, you know, it's so much that goes into that we be like, yeah. And then that's when I feel like things will start to change for you once you give us you.
Right. Man, I'm glad I did this, man, because I was about to kill myself right before this call. No, I'm joking. I was just about to go to the Hollywood sign. I was going to fly to LA, climb to the top, skydive. I'm glad you told me that, man, because like I said, I'm one of them people. I'm like, I am a true believer. If everybody said it got to be some truth to it. Because at first, the first time somebody said, I'm like, nigga, you just trying to be nosy. And then somebody else said, I'm like, bitch, you trying to be nosy too. And then when I had you say, I'm like, all right, everybody ain't just trying to be nosy. It must be some validity to what they're saying and what they want to see from me. So
that's what brings the people in. And then also I want to say this too, and this is to anybody listening too, like, I don't have the luxury of just posting, because, you know, when you're a huge celebrity and you already have like millions of followers just on the strength of a TV show or movie career, you don't have to post the same as like someone like me that's trying to build a big following or trying to get a fan base. I have to post differently. I can't just post a picture of me sitting at the beach profile black and white shot. I need to give you content. I need to give you something that draws you into me first, since I don't have a Game of Thrones show I was on, or like, you know, a HBO or anything like that where I accumulated a huge base. I got to bring you in. I'm still selling myself to you and presenting myself to the viewers. And I feel like you're in that same space as well with the black community and the black comedy community, to where we still need to, you know, be brought in to you through that type of, like, you know, content being put out.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate all that. I receive all of that.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? We out here.
A couple last things, cause I'm ready to go after you done talk shit about me. No, I'm joking. Hey, nigga, be ready to get off the call. Hey, well, this has been great, man. Let me put this leave button out on this Zoom call. Let me fuck on out of here.
Hit the leave button.
I told me all the shit I'm doing wrong.
Throw it out the window. Hey, I need a new laptop. I just broke mine.
I'm joking.